in some time, obviously. This is my new digs, this is my new permanent setup. The rig RV is in storage, and as you can tell, my co-star's here. I'm back with the monthly readings. We're going to get started with those here in just a minute, breaking those down elementally. So we're going to look at fire, earth, air, and water, breaking those down with timestamps, so you can go and skip through each one to take a look at your sun, your moon, and your rising. If you don't know these, there's a chart calculator website that will help you figure that out. It will also help you have more range and more variety whenever you're watching these readings, so you can get a better, more accurate picture of what could be happening. Remember, these are for the general collective. You're going to take what fits and throw out the rest. Be sure to tap that like button, that subscribe button if you haven't already, that notification bell lets you know every single time I'm energetically called to bring you a reading, or go live. I've been live a few times. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, crosswatchers, of course, are welcome. Be sure, take what fits, throw out the rest. If it does not resonate, please don't try to force it into your world. As always, first up, we're going to have Aries. Again, simple Celtic cross. I've got several oracle cards out here. These will be timestamped for y'all to go through, and forgive my rustiness. I apologize. All right, Aries, the U position. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, U position, Queen of Cups. What crosses or complements you? Seven of Cups. Looks like a lot of emotional options, confusion, something you're desperately involved with here. We've got the Seven of Wands. Now, this is the best that can be achieved for the entire situation, is you defending yourself, standing up for self-love. The Queen of Cups is definitely all about self-love. In the regular Rider-Waite, it's the most coveted, most beautiful cup of love there is. It's the most beautiful, most ordained cup. So there's a lot of respect for self-love, everything that's been done to build up your confidence in how you love, how you receive love. Let's see here, what's the foundation? We've got the Five of Swords. There comes Aries. Five of Swords. Typical readings, yes, this is a fight. This is a debate. So, this is you using a lot of harsh words to get your way. Basically, not going down without a fight. Seven of Wands, the Five of Swords. This is very protective, very guarded. What crosses or complements you here, the Seven of Cups, this is confusion. This is too many options. I feel like some of you may be pulling back a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit too much pressure. Let's look at your recent past. We've got the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Queen of Wands gets a lot of attention. That is Aries energy as well. With that Queen of Wands, this is somebody who's very desired, very attractive. Somebody who goes at life full gusto and is noticed in doing so. With your immediate future here, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Lovely. Ten of Pentacles is a very secure, long-term, solid feeling. 10 is about the end of the numerical process of obtaining what you're after. So when we have Pentacles, this is that long-term energy. It's grounded, it's slow. We've got three Pentacles, two Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. I've got three queens out here. When we have three queens, this is the energy of the divine feminine coming together. Two swords with the strength over here. Looks like there's a lot of protection. Seven of Wands, the Two of Swords coming out, Two of Pentacles. There's an indecision, especially with the Seven of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. There's an indecision here this month, and I feel like you guys are very guarded whenever it comes to you not being secure with your footing, whatever it is that you're needing to do. There's this innate need to protect it at all costs. I can't help but think of all these queens out here. It's almost like you're calling on your friends, your support group, your support system. This could be your mother, your auntie. This could be, you know, friends that are female if you're a divine masculine watcher. If you are one of my divine feminine watchers, this is you calling on your girlfriends, family members, your sisters. what have you, friends that are like sisters. I mean, this is commonality here with three very divine characters who know their stuff. And I feel like because you're bringing on everybody to help you make these decisions, it's going to lead to something that feels very secure, that everybody's on board with. Ultimately, you have a lot of support for too with this Ten of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lot of support. There's a lot of people saying, no, you worked way too hard to have your realization of who you are and what your worth is, what your value is, and we're all going to help remind you of who you are in case you forgot. Seven of Cups coming out here. Somebody here may be saying all the right things, and it's making you question. You've got the Five of Swords coming out here for the foundation. I feel like people are just like, have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? Don't go there. Or you could be the one who has such a high value for yourself and everything you've worked for, that you're the one noticing when people are confused and lost, or have been really misguided with too many options here with that Seven of Cups, and you're helping them hone it in. We've got Seven of Wands, Five of Swords. Almost, to a point to be a little bit maybe too aggressive with that Seven of Wands and the Five of Swords. That's pretty aggressive energy. That feels like, you're doing this in a way that is, not for the weak to hear. It's almost like your words have a way of delivering truth with some very painful reminders. So let's get some clarifiers real quick just to see what we're dealing with. We'll get some clarification. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Seven of Cups. There's the Lovers, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I have a feeling this has to do with either a partnership or some sort of major decision. If this has nothing to do with love, the literal definition of this card, the Lover's card, if it's nothing to do with love, then this could be some sort of a risk with a major decision. You could have a very solid job right now, but you could be headhunted, or you may be, thinking, hey, I think I want to try this new idea I've been thinking about, been dreaming about here with the Seven of Cups. I'm really feel really called to do something different. You've got your friends coming through, helping you with this decision. Look, you've worked hard enough, you fought hard enough. What are you waiting for? Maybe the delivery's a little bit harsh with that Five of Swords coming out here. Others of you are dealing with, some possible competition. We've got the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm kind of thinking a little bit competitive. The Three of Pentacles is two looking on at one, doing all the work. Everything this one person is doing, they're improving their life or they're improving their surroundings. The other two people are looking on and having a discussion. It's not always about collaboration. It's sometimes has to do with, people noticing what's going on. There's Seven of Swords. The Emperor, if that has to do with work, it almost feels like, people could be talking about you poorly in a working environment. Let's see. What else? Seven of Cups. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. Okay, Six of Wands, and then there's the Queen of Wands again. This is somebody who, is very capable of making successful, good decisions. I feel like there's a lot of positive outcome with a lot of things that this person does, whoever this person is. This Queen of Wands could be you. This could be the person who is intervening. This could be one of the two people intervening. Six of Wands, when you know this energy, this is about coming back from battle and you're being celebrated victoriously after battle. What do we have here? Five of Swords. There's some sort of war here. This is somebody who actually is very good at getting their way. Somebody who's very persuasive, who has, even if it's a little bit forceful, sometimes it feels in the moment like it's a bit bullying, but they mean well. It's just about, somebody defending their honor, defending your honor, and however that comes across, so be it. Tell me about the Seven of Wands. Three of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. There's a lot of work that's been done here. Whether this is a project, whether this is work on yourself. Again, this is super independent energy with that pre-Empress energy, with that Nine of Pentacles. This is people, collaborating, helping you remember who TF you are. TF you are, right? It sounds like an acronym, but it's not. It's the beginning is an acronym, the last is actual you. All right, tell me about the Five of Swords. I'm very curious about this Five of Swords. Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles here, Two of Pentacles there. This is confusion. This is helping you, kind of weigh out the balance. There's two swords. Interesting. Two swords, two pentacles, Seven of Wands. Yeah. These people are very protective over you. Or you're meeting with people, you're collaborating with people, you're talking with people. If it's not outsiders, this, I'm very well getting, this could be your higher self. This could be your higher self and your past self and your present self all deciding what your next move is going to be, how you're going to act accordingly. There's a lot of resistance in being able to make this decision or these next moves easily. I feel like the blocks and the resistance is a pause for you to be able to have some consideration for the work you've done. Interesting. Tell me about the... I'm taking... No, I've already taken them. Okay, tell me about the Queen of Wands. Tell me about that Queen of Wands back here for your immediate past. Six of Pentacles. Justice card. Four of Wands. Yeah, this is about being fair. Being very solid with whatever it is you're doing. Making good decisions. Good, fair, and balanced. This is somebody who really has a good head on their shoulders. In the recent past, I feel like things have presented an opportunity for you to really settle things and make sure that you have a really good solid foundation heading into your future. I feel like you could be at this moment now where you're deciding, what is my next 8 months going to look like? We're in the second month of the year already. Goodness. We could be looking at already to the end of the year, to the holiday season. How is it going to look for the next 10 months? What am I going to do here over the next 10 months? I feel like by the end of this month, you could very well have the next 10 months figured out. Tell me about the 10 Pentacles. Three of Wands. This is looking forward to all the planning, all the work you've done. Six of Swords. Sailing forward. At peace. Moving ahead in peace. Look at the Five Swords here, where we've moved on to now. Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, King of Pentacles. There's a lot of excitement here for feeling finally like you really got a good solid direction of where things are headed. It feels like, once you get past this deciding, the planning stages, the figuring things out, getting into the mode of the new rhythm, whatever it is you're doing, getting into your new rhythm. Once you get over this little hump, I feel like it's going to be smooth sailing for you. We've got that Strength card. We've got that new beginning here, death and rebirth, Aries energy showing up again with the Emperor. Love to see it. Let's look at some Oracle really quick. All right, let's look at some Oracle. Let's look at some possible blocks you could be having, Aries, financially. What are some possible blocks for Aries? Blocked root chakra, being grounded. Being more grounded. That's your first chakra here. To heal your root chakra, use crystals, connect with the earth, find time to exercise, to help you feel secure in your choices and to reignite the love and excitement for life. Yes, your passions. I feel like you've been a little bit afloat, you've been a little bit adrift. This is going to help you to get more grounded into what you want, where you're going, what you need, where you've been, what hasn't worked, what does work, what you're in love with, falling in love with your passions again. Okay, let's see. Let's get one more. And being a copy. Okay, trying to do what other people are doing. This is about doing too much of other people's, being way too inspired. Literally. We cannot be literally inspired. We have to take inspiration from people and create through our own unique viewpoint, our own vantage point, from your own skills, your own abilities, your own unique everything that makes you uniquely you, everything everybody loves about you in your natural form, in your organic state. So discover your genius, find out what makes you unique, and discover the genius that resides in you, because success comes from fierce originality, not imitation. Okay, fierce originality and not imitation. On the bottom of the deck, we've got that evil eye. Okay, be very warned about the people that you keep company with, how much information you're telling to people. You have to know your audience. What are you telling people? People don't always have the same vantage point of life that you do. Therefore, people don't want you to succeed. People don't want you to be better than they are. They just don't. That's just the way life is. Protect yourself. You can protect yourself from evil eye by burning candles, making an herbal bath, wearing an amulet, protecting you from any danger that comes your way. So be very mindful of the company that you keep as well. Okay. So what are some possible money moves you could be making for your career? What are they wanting you to draw your attention to, Aries? Sun, Moon, Rising. It wanted this card. Okay, we've got your wish granted. Very good. Your wish is granted. I feel like things are going to be a lot more fast whenever it comes to things coming through for you. Once these changes start to take hold, once you really start to get a direction of where you're headed and start to get that new rhythm going, I feel like you're really seeing some things start to turn in your favor. We've got spiritual work at the bottom. You are a light worker. So use your spirituality, that connectivity to your higher self. You could have a career as a healer, some of you. Some of you could be a reader. Some of you could be called to do some of that inner work. This could be a block for you, helping you to really appreciate and to truly expand on the growth you're about to achieve and obtain. All right, let's look at some love oracle here. So we're going to look at a couple of love oracle decks. What are clarifying love situation possible cards we can pull for you, Aries? Clarifying a love situation. Okay, we've got you manifesting, and we've got mountains and justice. Justice card again. Look at that. Sitting out here a couple of times, the justice card. This is the truth is going to be revealed. Okay, so don't worry about forcing the truth out or trying to make sure that it is your mission to make the truth come out. It always comes out. It always comes to light. We've got some mountains here that could be in the way. It's not going to be an easy path. Remember that the most worthy obtained goals are not the easiest to get. You won't truly appreciate things that are just handed to you or just happen to come easily. It's not about genuinely appreciating it. You just sit there and kind of sometimes become redundant because you become so fearful that something might change. It's not an easy path to get to something that is worth having. There could be setbacks, delays. Look out for things that are making it worthwhile to obtain. The universe is going to test your fortitude to make sure that you're worthy of the goals you're trying to achieve and have happen here. We've got manifest coming in very soon. Again, remember, we've got things happening faster for you. Things are coming in soon for you. I feel like things are coming into reality. This is dreams coming true again. Things are in the works already. Look, it's in the air. The situation is still undecided. It's still up in the air. I feel like you need to do a little bit work on you. Get yourself a little bit more secure and solid with the direction you're headed, with the goals you're setting, with your foundation. Get your foundation set, and I feel like other things are really going to start to settle into place all around you and for you. Okay, so let's look at, this is a karma deck here. Let's take a look at the karma deck real quick. Let's see here. Let's pull from the karma deck. Peace isn't passive. So protecting your calm doesn't mean that you're avoiding the truth. It's perfectly acceptable to not get involved with every single thing happening, every single conversation going on, every single situation that's being created between people that you know. It doesn't mean that you always have to be involved. It doesn't mean that you always have to have somebody bringing you information about it and that you have some sort of say. Protecting your calm doesn't mean you're avoiding the truth. It just means that you're choosing to not engage. This is about knowing, when to say when, picking your battles. And choosing peace is not passive at all. It doesn't mean anything lesser of you. It actually means a lot more of you. We've got Delulu coming out, right? We've got Delulu coming out. Like, this person has an apology speech. They're kind of waiting for here. I feel like don't kid yourself and don't get too lost in the land of dreaming things up or wishing or hoping or waiting for something to come true. I feel like taking action on things that you can control is going to give you a little bit more distance from anything that is not coming into fruition here or is eluding you from living in your truth or reality in the moment. So be very mindful of some Delulu energy coming out there as well. Look at this at the bottom. Their version of events is fan fiction. Do y'all know what fan fiction is? This is somebody who continues the story because you haven't. This is somebody like continuing to try to keep the fire going, try to fan the flames. Still, somebody here could be still trying to keep, the fight going. It doesn't mean that you have to engage. I feel like somebody is very delusional about what's gone on here, and they could be trying to goat you in to continuing a fight. They say misery loves company. You could be hitting all kinds of dopamines in somebody else, and they are addicted to it because it's addictive. Miserable situations are addictive. So be very mindful of who you're playing with. Choosing to not engage is not avoiding the truth, and don't let people goat you into continuing to play a game that is long over. Should have been over a long time ago, because holding you captive to energy that is already done is only imprisoning you to keep you from going to your fullest potential. It's to keep you from excelling into your most optimal points, Aries. Okay. All right. I hope that helped. I hope it resonated. We're going to pull one more message from your future higher self. What does your future higher self want to close your month of February 2026 with? If all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, you won't value and appreciate the small ones. Again, we need to really be mindful of all those little moments that got us to the points where we're so finally appreciative of what we've been working so hard for. But everything that happened up until then was a part of the experience. It is a part of the journey. All of the mistakes, all of the missteps, all of the little moments of celebrations when things went your way, when you met people that helped you along the way, whenever you learned so much about yourself, when the situation, the direction you're headed. These are great, wonderful celebratory moments whenever we figure things out, whenever we learn how to learn. Those are little moments that will help you to really appreciate that big moment when you finally get to the end of where you're headed, Aries. Okay, I hope that helped. I hope it resonated. Enjoy your 2026 February month. I'm so appreciative of all of you for hanging in there. And again, I will see you very, very soon. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and again, that notification bell will tell you every time I'm energetically called to bring your reading. or to go live. Don't forget to be following me so you catch me live. All right, take care, Aries. Man, I'm rusty. Sorry about that. Next up, we've got Leo. We're going to do Leo next. Okay, Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Thank you all again so much for your patience. Be sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell so you catch me live and every time I'm energetically called to bring you readings. We're going to take a look at a simple Celtic cross for Leos. Be sure to check your other placements. If anything does not resonate, don't force it to fit. All right, here we go, Leo. Simple Celtic cross. We'll get affirmations and then run out some oracle at the end. The U position, Leo, 5 of Swords. Pulled that for the last one. What crosses or complements you? 7 of Wands. Wow. Okay, if y'all watch the Aries reading, if you have Aries in your chart, we've got this energy still coming up. My goodness. Okay. So very defensive, argumentative. The foundation, we've got peace. Look at that. That's miles away from this. This is the moment just before the fight, that 4 of Swords. This is about really understanding what it is you're fighting for, understanding how you've been hurt, how you've been done wrong, what has been said against you that is incorrect. This is about processing things and how you're planning on handling everything happening here. I feel like, Leo, you're in for a hell of a fight. The best that can be achieved is the peace that you seek is going to be the goal that you obtain. What's the foundation? I feel like the fight that you are about to have, okay, yep, 3 of Swords. Wow, that's pretty impressive. 3, 4, and 5 of Swords. So these swords, look, these swords have the heartbreak. They go up on the wall, you process everything, and then you come out and handle your business with that 5 of Swords. That's the order. My goodness, what crosses and complements you? Your ability to really defend yourself in a very optimal way, that no matter what's coming at you, I feel like you're ready for anything. That's very fire sign energy. What's your immediate past? Queen of Wands. Very fire sign energy indeed. And dare I say that this is pretty repetitive of the Aries reading. This is incredible. They also pulled the Queen of Wands for immediate past. Wow. If you have Aries in your chart, I encourage you to watch that. Your immediate future, Queen of Swords. You're not playing around. You are not playing. I feel like you're very defensive. I feel like you're really putting your foot down. Wow, these are repetitive. Wow. So in the future, in this run out, you are kind of waiting for whatever happens here about however you say things, the message that's delivered, the way in which you say things, the energy that you're putting out. You're kind of waiting for those results to take hold. You're waiting to see if the message is received. With that 3 of Wands, we've got the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, 8 Wands. This is a lot of people getting it, and I mean quickly. I think that there is the law spoken here. We've got the King of Swords, the Lover's card. There's some very firm words spoken with that Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Very firm. This is no nonsense. This is taking a stand. This is about you utilizing your skill sets and your abilities to make sure that you are heard and understood very clearly, because you don't want to say this again. You don't want to go through this again, and you're not doing this again. I feel like this is you never wanting to have this type of experience. So the lesson is clocked, and you're making sure everybody understands the assignment. Moving ahead, this is not the way things are going to go. This is how we're going to go. This is the new plan moving forward, and you're making sure everybody feels the impact of what you're saying. Goodness. Okay, let's clarify. That's very to the point, Leo. Very to the point. Let's clarify a few of these just to make sure we're on the same wavelength here. Go with the regular. Oh wow. How accurate. I picked that deck up. Nice. So we'll eventually get to a calmer place where the better version of you, the version of you that you're more happy with, because Leo's very playful, very fun, very energetic, the life of the party, dare I say, as I pull this Knight of Wands, the life of the party. You're all about that good time, having a good time energy. And so being here feels way too heavy for the likes of Leo. Tell me about this Five of Swords, please. Oh, goodness. All right, we'll have it. Wants to be here. You're hurt, and I mean hurt. Lover's card also coming out. So there's a major decision. This has to do with a partnership. This has to do with a relationship. Something here having to do with somebody else and the decisions that they made. Major decisions. So now everything has changed almost permanently. Tell me about the Seven of Wands. King of Swords, exactly. And the Six of Swords. So this is you demanding peace. Demanding things move ahead, and this is how we're going to do it. And this is the way it's going to go. We've got the High Priestess and the Devil card. I almost feel like you're pretty harsh and aggressive with the way things are going. This is you putting full faith in the outcome going in your favor here. You're putting full faith in this. I feel like it's ultimately going to be this or nothing at all. This is chaining yourself to the idea. And the High Priestess is your inner knowing of the battle ahead. Or I almost feel like you kind of know. You kind of know. You may be even setting some impossible standards here just to kind of let the trash take itself out. Five of Cups, very impossible standards. Three of Swords clarified by the Five of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. These might be some pretty high standards. It's going to take a lot for this person to really come through. We've got the Seven of Wands, that Nine of Pentacles. This is you overcoming something quickly. There's a lot of like quick change happening here. Tell me about this Queen of Wands. Because this is a risk for you. Yeah, you very clearly in the past had a very clear way of making yourself known. And this is, you know, with good reason. And I feel like with all this coming up, it's just like, okay, I already had the rules set into place. I already had, you know, the ground rules set. I already knew how I wanted to say things. And this happened. Somebody tried me. Somebody is playing around. And you're not having it. No nonsense. This is very no nonsense. Look at all these repeat cards coming out. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. This is getting things back on track for yourself too. I feel like this is you going, okay, this is back on track. This is your one opportunity. That's it. I'm taking a huge risk here with my heart, with everything I have told you, what I believe, and what I'm thinking is going to be the outcome based on everything that's ever happened before. But here's your chance. Here's your chance to prove me wrong, even though I don't have a lot of faith in it. I feel like you don't have a lot of faith in this, which is almost why the High Priestess and the Devil are out here. I feel like you don't have a lot of faith that this person's going to be able to meet you at the point of your line in the sand. I don't think this person's going to be able to meet you there. And you kind of know this. Look at the Magician. There's that Three of Wands. You're creating this. You're kind of like creating this moment of, let me just wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's see if you got what it takes. And again, back here, we've got little pages. Like, we'll see. Okay, let's try. Here's some disappointment. We've got Empress, Pre-Empress, Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's some confusion here about what like a real relationship is, the levels of which you're needing. Here's a Empress again, double Empress here. Interesting. Look at this. Wow. Okay. I will say this for you, Leo. You're really putting your foot down here as far as what your value is and what it is you're expecting. The line that has been crossed that you clearly had in the sand in the beginning. It's almost like, okay, now you are here in a court before your peers and a judge. What do you have to say for yourself? Here's your one opportunity. Here's your one chance. Let's see what you do. That'll be interesting. Again, check the description box for personal readings to get more details accurate to your specific situation. Take out what fits, throw out the rest. Take what fits, throw out the rest. Is what I mean. Okay, we're gonna pick all this up real quick and run out some oracle to get clarification. Okay, set those aside. Let's see, finances. What are some possible blocks? Undiscovered talents. Okay. So look to your past for some possible undiscovered talents. Now, Leo is very in tune with their youth, where they're from, what shaped them to be who they are today. They're very into, think of fifth house, it's very into creativity, it's very into family, it's very into children, youth. Okay, so tune into some of that natural you, Leo. Look back to your past and think of all the things that you were good at as a child. Even if their skills, even if these skills seem useless now, they could easily still be hidden talents. Okay, so we're looking to these things that seem silly. You know, there could be something there. It's not about looking at it literally. It could be an inspiration to something. It could be a parallel to something. You know, think of it with a little bit more of an open mind. But yeah, go back to the past, to the youth. What were you really good at? Another block here could be resentment and envy. Okay. Now, Leo is the lion, right? Lions are about pride. Think of the ego. Think about your pride being struck. We don't want to have that happen with Leo, but don't get too attached to that. So bless what you desire. Turn jealousy into inspiration. Value and embrace your unique path to create your own version of success and cultivate your own joy. Okay, so even if somebody is coming in and stealing your thunder, you know, you're very creative, you're very capable of turning that into something even better. Think about ways to take inspiration from what it is that you're seeing and grow your own in your own fashion, in your own unique way. Bottom of the deck, we have self-exaltation here. So practice humility. Humility reminds you that success doesn't all come from what you have, but what you have to offer others. Recognize your strengths and weaknesses and be willing to learn from others to achieve more. Really, because achieving is not always through acquisition. It's not always through obtaining, you know, things of tangible nature. This is things about learning lessons. This is about creating a path for someone else, really becoming a very humble part of somebody else's joy and light in order to bolster your own in a more subdued way. There's beautiful ways to kind of create that energy of growth and success and celebration through others. That energy is magnetic though, so whatever we're creating for others also vicariously sometimes sticks to us. Alright, let's see, money matters. What do you need to bring to your attention for the month of February? We've got success. You're on the right track, Leo. We've got victory. We've got results coming in positively. What else? What else is going on? Investments. Success in your investments. Whatever you're choosing to invest in, your education, your time. You're looking into future investments. We've got, of course, the Bitcoin on here. This is about learning how to do banking better, maybe searching for a better bank. We're trying to acquire assets, accrue a capital, looking at purchasing stocks. Want to start working on our savings account. We've got adventure on the bottom of the deck too. So leaving your comfort zone, going outside of your comfort zone to do something you've never tried before, or doing something that feels a little bit less natural to you, to try to shake that energy up a little bit for you. Cool. Okay. Let's look at love cards. So clarifying a love situation. What does Leo need to be made aware of? Clarifying a love situation. True gem. That's too many. A triangle, foreigner, bad games. Goodness. A connection worth saving. Valuable, quality, authentic. I feel like you were not valued for the true gem that you are. Somebody screwed up and put you in a triangle, in a situation with somebody else. They created you a triangle that you never asked to be a part of in some instances. Some of you may have found out that you were made into an option. This is somebody who is brand new to your connection. This is leaving all that is familiar here with foreigner. Leaving all that is familiar in your situation, going to something completely different for some of you. Others of you are dealing with a stranger, somebody here that is different, not connected. You're finding out some bad games have happened. You don't want anything to do with that. You got some mixed singles here from somebody with bad intentions, operating dishonestly. Others of you, you're just finding out your value here. You could be thinking of doing things that are completely different to you, trying to do things that you would never otherwise do. Don't want anything serious is what the bad game says. You could have gone through a lot. You want to try something new. Maybe you want to have some fun. Maybe you want to build your confidence back up by trying to be more open and less tied down. Been there, done that. Not currently, but have been. Okay. Let's see, Leo. If you're dealing with somebody, let's find out here. What do they have to say to you? I feel like we are in each other's lives for a reason. I think we have a pretty unique connection. I really wish you would give me some space. I find myself thinking about you a lot. And then at the bottom, don't take this personally, but my heart belongs to someone else. That could be those of you dealing with that triangle situation. And I'm not really into you, but I do like the attention that you give me. So some people, just keep you around because they like what you do for them. They like to, have that filler connection. I've had that happen too, where they just, nothing else is going on, so let me just go to this person. They go down the line and try to always have a connection going. Very codependent, so they deal with others that are. The chapter is done. You're the whole damn book. Yeah, close the book. Close the book, because you know that this is your story. They are just a mention. They could be a sentence, they could be a chapter, they could be a paragraph, but that's done. You're the only main character. You're the only thing that matters. You're the main character in this whole thing, okay? Remember that. You saw both masks and chose yourself. You saw both masks and chose yourself, yes. You see everything clearly, and Leo always chooses self. You took the high road. The view's better up here. Yep. Not going down in the muck with them, not adding to your karma, but instead deciding to live up here in your dharma, focusing on the better path, the lessons, choosing to walk away, letting it all be handled by the divine. All right, Leos, I feel like that is your message. Thank you all so much for tuning in, playing along. For those of you who need to get more information, a personal private reading can be booked through my website. Everything's going to be in the description box. All right, moving on now to Sagittarius. So we're going to look at Sagittarius for February. Sagittarius. Sun, moon, rising. Sagittarius. Thank y'all so much for y'all's patience, everyone. Thank you. Here we go. Sagittarius. Sun, moon, rising. I'm going to do a simple Celtic cross. That Two of Pentacles really wants to come out. Simple Celtic. Ooh. What's that U position for Sag? Nine of Swords. February stressful. What crosses or compliments you? Goodness. Everybody's getting the Seven of Wands. All three fire signs had Seven of Wands. My God. Okay. What is the reason? Queen of Pentacles. So this is the best that can be achieved. And I do feel like you're going to get a handle on things. I feel like things will come back to center. They always do. You kind of always know that this is just temporary. This is just a moment. This could be as simple as you asserting yourself to try to get some peace of mind. You could be losing sleep. It could be as simple as, not sleeping well. You haven't been sleeping well. And this will return once you get back into your routine, once you get back into your schedule. I feel like there's a lot of things in place that are supporting you having success here. Really being able to overcome this. Or if this is just about stress or anxiety, fear, I feel like you're doing what it takes in order to recenter and reground yourself. What's the foundation here? Queen of Cups. Man, y'all keep all repeating the same cards. I've got different decks too, y'all. What's that immediate past? Wheel of Fortune. And your immediate future. Four of Cups. Okay. So, there's a lot of maintenance here required. Six of Cups on the bottom. King of Cups. Eight of Swords. More stress. So that this is all temporary. I feel like you just kind of know that this is the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. You've been up, you've been down, you just kind of know that this is the way it is. You sit waiting, I think, for this to pass. A lot of you might be disappointed that it doesn't happen sooner than it has in the past. Maybe in the past things, have a way of, balancing themselves out a lot faster. I almost feel like this could be something that you maybe create yourself. Don't get mad. I feel like some of you might, have a little bit of self-induced stress by taking on too much. You could be taking on the weight of the world. You could be taking on, other people's issues, other people's problems. This may have been something that, you told yourself in the past that you weren't going to do anymore. And try as you might, I don't think it's avoidable. Not the way your life is built right now. Don't see where there's a lot of solid changes happening. The only major arcana out here is going to be that Wheel of Fortune from your immediate past, and the High Priestess in the future, in the way down future. So it's looking here like you almost could be assisting in the manifestation that this is just kind of the way it is. You go up, you go down. Maybe the reason for this is to not be so fluid and allowing for this to go, and just kind of knowing your position in life is no matter what, I'm always good. The world's going to do what it's going to do, but I'll be fine. I'm just going to kind of let it handle itself. This being the best that can be achieved is something to aspire to, Sagittarius, about being more grounded and having a more control and a more solid plan, getting more support, versus just knowing that it's something that's always going to be either here or maybe not. Maybe I will have support, maybe I won't, but that's just the way it is. That's the way it's always been. No matter what, I'm fine. It's okay. It'll all be okay. It always is. I almost feel like there's this push to kind of assert a different way, to change things for the better. This almost feels like the opportunity to close some sort of karmic cycle. Once if you can realize it and notice it, then you could take control. The Four of Cups is about not really being interested in doing anything extra or doing too much to make things too much more different than they are. It's just kind of like you've figured out a flow, so you're kind of going with that flow here. Let's clarify. Let's go ahead and clarify. Tell me about the Nine of Swords, the Magician, and the Emperor. Here comes all the major arcana. Tell me about the Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is that settling in and knowing. Yeah, this is a very stubborn, very fixed, just kind of like, yeah, this is always what happens. This is always what happens. I just kind of know. It's just, that's just the way it is. This is about manifesting that situation, kind of like creating it. As I was saying before, it's almost like reaffirming it, and so it is. This is, like I say, everything we think and feel affects our quantum field. We're just saying, well, this always happens. It's just the way it is. You could be, affirming and making sure that that is always the way it is. There's no opportunity to change. There's no, effort to do so. Sagittarius showing up to your own reading there with the Temperance card. That is about balance. There's some sort of clarifying moment here about how to have that opportunity of balance, for things to come back into focus here. I feel like your patience might be being tested with that Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Page of Cups. This is the foundation. And the Four of Cups. Look at that. It's just the way it is. That's just who I'm dealing with. That's just the cards I've been dealt, is kind of this acceptance of dealing with that. I know who I am. I don't care what anybody else is doing. But that's about just letting people have a way of being in control of your life. By letting it be what it is, you're basically saying, I don't want to make change, or I'm not capable of making change. It's almost settling for this. This energy here of the Four of Cups, it just feels like settling. Look at her meditating here. She's just like, not even here. It's all good. It's always the way it is. I'll just go to my own world. It'll be what it is. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Hierophant. What was the major arcana? And the Seven of Cups. Yeah. What do we really want? Five of Cups. Tell me about the Four of Cups. Devil and the Knight of Wands. Wow. Page of Wands. Three of Cups. So there's this kind of, it just feels so lackadaisical, honestly. It feels pretty lackadaisical, which means, it's this settling. There's not a lot of effort to do, be, or think, or feel different. It's just kind of this routine that you've settled into. It's this pattern and rhythm of life that you've become accustomed to. You've almost desensitized yourself to just kind of accept it. And it is what it is. Goodness. There's a lot of resistance here. I think in your recent past, you may have tried to get the point across here with the Hierophant, and it's almost like you're not able to communicate it in a way that's either well received, or there's a lot of kickback from it. Could be a lot of, emotional drama that comes from this, so it's almost not worth it. Almost feels like you've decided, okay, it's just not worth it to stoke the fires, or evoke the waterworks. Some of you just feel like, yeah, I'm not even really mentally here anyway. Some of you could be already planning your escape. The Knight of Wands is not attached to anything, and this is a loose attachment to the idea of what any of this is. It's almost like this is just settling. It just feels a lot like settling. All right, well, let's clean this up and get some oracle cards out here. Feels like for the month of February, we've got a lot of settling. This could be disappointment for what you're dealing with, and just knowing that these moments are numbered. You may just be stuck and trapped in a situation that you can't get out of yet. And that the better times are ahead, so you're just kind of waiting for your moment to take off. You're almost, obsessed with the idea of running away, because this is so unsatisfying where you are and everything that you've kind of settled for so far. This is you completely obsessed with the idea of everything being different. The day you can just jump on that horse and run off. I feel like you're waiting. It's just this plan of being finally able to get to somewhere different. You're just blocked based on a few things that need some time, but as soon as they come through, everything you've worked for, you're finally able. There's that Queen of Pentacles again, the cause and effect. All right, let's clean this up and we will get some oracle. Okay, let's look at what could be some blocks for you. What are some possible blocks for Sagittarius? Wasting resources could be one. Feels like you're spending on all the wrong things in all the wrong places, maybe supporting things that are just kind of a dead end for you. You have all the tools and resources to advance in life, but need to use them more effectively to open opportunities and manifest more money. So try to take inventory and look at where your resources are going. This could be your time you're investing in something. Could be at a dead end. You need to redirect yourself to get that energy flowing again. You could be stuck inside of your comfort zone. You're being pushed outside of your comfort zone a little bit, and that could be a big block for you as well. So take a leap of faith here and stepping into the unknown, doing something that you've never done before. This will help you realize the prize for being brave is worth the effort. A lot of times that change is just outside of our comfort zone, that big change we're looking for, that next step, that next level. Many times you can't get there with what you've already achieved or what you've already learned. So you're being pushed just a little bit further. We've got divine timing. The timing is so right. Let go and trust. Though things may be slow or frustrating, or it may not make sense at all, divine timing assures you that the universe is placing people, things, and lessons and more into your life only when you're ready. So trust the timing on things. The lessons are there, the push is there, the annoyances are there, the open doors are there, the opportunities, whatever it is. Trust the timing and be alert and aware to know what that looks like and when it's being presented to you. Okay. All right, let's look at some money moves you may need to be made aware of. What are some money moves for Sagittarius? Roll the dice with commitment. risk here, finally jumping in. Remember, your reading was not a lot about kind of settling and just kind of going with the status quo and dealing with what you have. But I feel like maybe you're being pushed to roll the dice, get into something that you could feel more long term love for. They're asking for you to, get outside your comfort zone and really commit to something here, whether that's, going in a different direction altogether or jumping all in and really making that effort to do the change and the work. Whatever that is, Spirit is absolutely guiding you to take a chance on this. It's going to be worth it on the other side. Okay. Those lights are a little severe. We've got imprint on the bottom of the deck. So make your mark. This is about you being impactful and established, long-lasting, impressive, unforgettable. Right? We cannot be unforgettable sitting inside of our comfort zone. We cannot sit there whenever we're just settling for whatever we're being given. This is about jumping out, making the opportunity to roll the dice and make your mark on the world. Okay? Take that big risk. Take the jump. Take the leap. Let's clarify love situations. You've got love situations happening. Let's look real quick and see if Spirit has anything here. Mountains, healing, drama. Okay. Feels like you're being asked to do some really heavy work here. There's a lot of burdens, there's a lot of obstacles in your way, but I think that the drama is indicating that the healing still needs to happen. Everything you've been going through, your emotions are running so high. This could be why you're losing sleep. This is about having a major fallout. This is opposing views with somebody. This is toxic energy in your life. The time now is to heal. Whatever healing looks like, solving this issue, getting away from the triggers, doing that effort and work to make those changes to where you don't have to deal with that anymore, doing that deep inner work. This is about doing your shadow work and getting over something, improving. I was like, improvising, why? Improving your life, doing better for yourself. It's worth it. I've got that Devil card again coming out. Yeah. I feel like it's been dangerous territory, trying to, believe love or what people tell you love is. I think you've been really obsessed with the idea of what real love is and what it isn't. And I think you know that real love is that connection with your higher self, with your purpose, with your life's goal. Everything else falls into place as a result of that relationship that you have, ultimately with your higher self. I always say that is your true twin flame connection is with your higher self. All other situations come in and trigger that connection with that. You either heal it or it becomes something deeper, right? Okay. Let's look here. More about situations. If you're dealing with somebody, what do they need you to know? If you've got that person on your mind that's creating the obstacles, whoever you're settling for, what's going on? What is on that mind? I'm really sorry, but I can't reciprocate your feelings. This feels very one-sided with somebody. Maybe somebody's asking for more of you than you're willing to give. To be totally honest, you're not really my type. Not interested. They could be asking more of you than you're willing to give. Bottom of the deck. I'm not looking for anything real right now. Inauthentic. I tell you how I feel and I change everything. Somebody here is possibly using someone else as a placeholder. However that resonates. Be mindful of that possibility. And then we're going to look at the karma deck here. Fake deep, you outgrew their performative healing arc. Okay, so somebody could have been faking spirituality in order to have a connection with you. They could have been saying, oh yeah, I'm into all that too. I'm just like you. I love crystals. I'm also a vegan. I'm into tarot. I'm into this. And ultimately, no, they're not. It was a performative healing arc. You outgrew it. Others of you could be dealing with, a false prophet. that you have uncovered, and you're coming to terms with that. What else for Sagittarius? They watched your garden bloom and tried to poison the soil. No bad vibes. Yeah, somebody here was really contradictive to a lot of the love that they were faking with you. Feels like somebody was faking some sort of love with you. Feels like they took a lot of pride in tearing you down every chance you were starting to come up and do better for your life, do better for yourself. Bottom of the deck, you are not a battery. Unplug accordingly, okay? So we can't just go, go, go all the time. You can't just stay on. You can't always be on. You need to take a moment and take a break. Take a break from the drama. Take a break from the healing. Take a break from everything that you've been so involved with. Just unplug every once in a while. Just disconnect, decompress. Take that time out for yourself so that you can charge your battery and come back stronger and ready to fight like you do, fire signs. Okay, I hope that helped and I hope it resonated. That was all my fire signs. We did Aries, Leo, Sag. Thank you so much for tuning in, playing along. Remember, these are for the general collective. Take what fits, throw out the rest. Be sure to check your other placements if you don't know what they are. The description box will have a link to go check that out, including all my other platforms where I go live and post content. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following me here. Tap that like button. That notification bell will help you be attuned every time I am energetically called to come live or post a reading. Until next time, thank y'all so much again for your patience. Thank you for always being here. I will see y'all soon. All the love, light,